muting out now. Well, hello and welcome to week 81 Icarus update. I'm here with Gao. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've been better, but it's all IRL stuff, and we are here for the Icarus update. So, what have we got going this week? I hear you ask.
At least the week's over, so that's good.
Yeah, there's the weekend, and then it starts all over again. Hey,
Hey,
Michael.
Michael.
Michael gets the first medal tonight. Well done. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. How are you doing? What have you been up to? Hope it's all been all good, positive stuff. If not, I'm glad you're here. We'll try and cheer you up. We are here for Icarus Week 81 update, recipe rebalances and reduced costs. Well, that's something that we have been talking about for especially some of the things that we make are just way too expensive to make too often, so we try not to. However, the recipes and blueprints have both received a rebalance. This will reduce costs and shuffle the tiers of some items. So, would you take us into that, please, Connie?
Yeah. This week, week 81, brings us a refresh and rebalance of our blueprint tree. And also some improvements to the tier 3 and tier 4 recipes. As the game has evolved, certain items have either become more valuable or declined in their value. So we've shuffled where they're unlocked and their recipe costs to make them more balanced in the current state of the game. Hey Jake, welcome.
Hey Jake, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing, buddy?
So next to these recipes, reshuffle and rebalance, we've also fixed a couple of long-standing bugs, and we have an update on styx. So let's jump in and have a read, shall we?
Alrighty, I'm going to scroll down, folks. Yeah, we've seen that. We've had that image a couple of times now. That's the hey, we've got mounts image and a huge scanner that can fit in your pocket.
Yep.
Alrighty, so we have quality of life and fixes. excuse me, the blueprint tree has received a complete rework and shuffle, with our intention to better group together related items and even adjust some tiers to reflect their value to the game at this stage of its life cycle. This rearrange will mean that certain pathways and familiarity will be lost, so it's worth spending a couple of minutes having a look at the new design to acclimatise yourself. Don't worry about your purchased blueprints, none have been lost as a result of these changes. So they've just rearranged where they are. They haven't rehashed all your. They haven't taken away anything you've unlocked.
The blueprints you had unlocked already, you still have unlocked. They just show somewhere else in the tree now.
Yeah. Okay. For example, the placeable beacon that provides map markers has received a recipe cost rebalance and shifted to tier 3 to better reflect the value it offers in the current state of the game.
Yeah, so basically the permanent map marker, permanent as in permanent during the day, because they have the built-in solar panel. This was especially a helpful item back in the days where you could not see player markers on the map.
Yeah.
And also you can place down multiple of those. So for example, put them down in front of a cave entrance. So you don't have to alt tab to Icarus Intel to see where the cave is that you're looking for, but you can put those beacons down.
They were really good in outposts because you could do exactly that. You could put a beacon in front of the caves, and then you knew exactly where they were.
Yeah. But other than that, are they really helpful? Then fun to play with every so often.
Yeah. Yeah. We've also made some other quality of life adjustments and fixes. Many fruit and vegetables that have previously only been harvestable by hand can now be harvested by the sickle, including carrots, pumpkins, watermelon, and mushrooms, which will benefit from the sickle's harvest stat.
Harvest carrots, pumpkins, watermelons, mushrooms with a sickle. Me like it not.
Yeah. Instant overload on food. It's fantastic.
You could already harvest, for example, corn with a sickle, wheat, berries. But then you came across carrots, then you had to pick them up by hand.
Yeah. These items were not harvestable with a sickle.
Nope.
So now they are, which is great. Yeah, please see my hand picked with a sickle video.
Yeah. Oh, let's harvest this berry bush with the sickle, and then you pick it up by hand.
I will never freaking forget that. That was a hard dang day.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
You had just made me a bone sickle, and I'm like, oh yes, I've got a sickle. Let's pick it by hand.
It was fun. Yep.
Oh dear. Yes, this next one is one we have spoken about many's an occasion. The lantern, present at tier 2 on the blueprint tree, which was powered by biofuel, is now instead powered by animal fat. When the item breaks, it can be repaired with animal fat at the crafting bench, making this a refillable device for lighting your way. It also no longer requires glass, a tier 3 material, to craft.
Yeah, indeed. We talked about this many times before. It uses tier 3 materials to craft, being glass. It uses tier 3 materials to fuel, biofuel. Why is this one in tier 2? You unlock it in tier 2. You can't build it until you're tier 3.
Yeah.
So you no longer require glass to craft it now. Now you use animal fat. So you unlock it in tier 2. You can build it in tier 2.
Which
is no longer powered by biofuel, which is tier 3. So you've built it in tier 2 and you can actually use it in tier 2.
Yes, exactly. And that
Makes way more sense.
That was the whole point. about every time we talked about it last time. Why is this lantern in tier 2 when you can't make it till tier 3, nor use it? So that I really like that change. I'm gonna make myself a lantern just to try that out now, because I didn't like it before. It wasn't good enough to be a tier 3 item because you couldn't make it nor use it until you were tier 3.
Well, I'm actually in my open world. I'm using the the lantern, not a biofuel lantern, but the lantern. Use it all the time. It gives more light than a torch.
Yeah. Is it omnidirectional though, or yeah?
The tier 3 biofuel lantern is way less omnidirectional, it's way more directional light. The tier 2 lantern is omnidirectional. That's why I used the tier 2 one, not the tier 3.
Yeah. Good. Good. Next up.
So we have now warnings and icons shown on the map selection screen for missions and open world to reflect the increased difficulty that Styx presents, and to direct new players towards Olympus for an easier introduction to the game. So now when you want to start a new mission and you say Styx, it comes with a pop-up like, hey, Styx is harder than Olympus. New players should start with Olympus. You have to say, okay, I want to continue anyway, and then you can go to Styx. It also shows 3 skulls on the Styx select and 2 skills on the Olympus select. The only thing I'm slightly less happy with here is the fact that there is no checkbox like, okay, I know it, don't ask it again. Every single time you want to start an Olympus open world or you want to start an Olympus mission, every single time you have to click the box saying, hey, this is harder than Olympus, are you sure?
Mm.
So if there would be an option like a checkbox like, okay, I know it now, don't ask it again, would be nice.
Yeah.
But meh. Not
Okay.
game breaking, but it would be a nice quality of life improvement if there would be such an option.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that yet. So I'm going to reserve judgment for that one.
Usually you join a prospect that I host, so you never get that screen.
Yeah, until I'm playing solo, which I don't do.
Exactly. So for you it's no problem. For me, slightly more.
Yeah, okay.
Nah, so
Okay, and finally?
the solar panel was previously accidentally indestructible. It's been changed and it will now take damage like other devices. No weather damage as far as I've been able to discern. But you know, if you hit it with an axe or with a pickaxe or with an arrow, it
Or
will
even
take
your
damage now.
fist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Basically the same as all other devices. You hit it, it'll take damage. And then you have to repair it.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, does to me too. Okay, so we have the storm in the Arctic.
Storm inbound or outbound.
Yeah, I like that image, I really do. But I kind of wonder now whether or not he's using the tier 2 lantern instead of the torch. He's got fur armor on.
Yep, but it's quite a nice amount of light around him.
Yeah,
So it could very well be the lantern.
and that looks like a refined bow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Can't really say. Might
Okay.
be a crude bow. I don't know. Too long ago since I've used either of those bows.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Jake, but we really like the Larkwell bow. Sorry, dude.
Yeah. Larkwell and the K-form. Those are basically the bows we use the most.
Yeah, that's the go-to bow. That's not for long,
Not for
Jake.
long.
What do you mean not for long? Oh, there's a
Don't,
new.
don't
Eh?
tell me you're gonna nerf the Larkwell bow. Oh, come on!
Oh
I
no!
mean,
Seriously, dude.
I do agree
We paid
that
a
the Larkwell
lot
bow
of money for
is
that.
overpowered by far.
Yeah, but it's
So yeah.
expensive.
Well, you're kidding, but like I said, it is overpowered. It's by far the most powerful bow, far more powerful than any other bow in the game. So I could understand it if you would nerf it indeed, to an extent.
Yeah. Although I do have to say it is a really good bow and it is worth every exotic that it
Oh yeah,
costs.
definitely.
It's definitely something that you have to work towards, and
I mean,
that's
the
going to take a
Larkwell
long
bow
time if you're a
and
solo player.
but the Larkwell bow and flint arrows, you don't need no guns no more. You can do the
No,
same amount of damage with the Larkwell bow and flint arrows. That's how powerful the Larkwell is.
the Larkwell bow you can actually get a one-shot kill with a stone arrow.
Yeah. And I'm not only talking about wolves, but talking bears to like level 40-ish. One
Yeah.
shot kill with stone arrow and a Larkwell bow. So we are planning a rebalance this, Jake, in a larger patch, specifically the critical damage equation. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just seem to like always get the kill cam. I don't know what it is, but I'm the hunter, so you would expect me to be able to do that. But that bow is just it's mint.
Yep.
It's really really mint. Um,
I
if
mean,
you if
it's for a reason that it is so popular. And it's because both OP, I know. It's very much OP. True, without skills, if you don't know how to use a bow,
well,
it's
yeah,
less useful. But once you have learned how to handle a bow, then the Larkwell, it's very overpowered.
yeah. I mean, the cave worm bow was such a huge step in the right direction. And that was the definite. You would go mining for as much as you possibly could just so that we could get the boats.
Yeah, like visit caves, don't even mind, just kill worms to get to the cave worm bow as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue with the patch notes, shall we?
Yeah. Alrighty. Please do.
So a couple of some rebalancing in tier 3 and tier 4 recipes. Part of the process for rebalancing recipes is to break down the required resources into intermediary resources to give us a bit more flexibility in tiering and scaling the costs. These new intermediary items in general focus on breaking down ingots. They are as follows. New item, gold wire. 1 gold ingot gives you 5 gold wire. Another new item, copper wire. 1 copper ingot gives you 5 copper wire. Then we have the sheath. 4 platinum sheath for 1 platinum ingot. And then all of a sudden we switch it around, and then it's 3 titanium ingots for 1 titanium plate. Very expensive plate, by the way. Basically, you use 12 times the amount of titanium for a titanium plate than you use platinum for a platinum sheath. But okay.
Yeah. But titanium actually is easier to get than platinum.
I don't know what the percentages are.
And you, having said that, we have had caves that have had 5 platinum nodes in it, and another one's had 5 aluminium nodes in it, and another one's had 5 titanium nodes in it. So you know, I mean,
Yeah, it's a random percentage based.
yeah,
RNG percentage based. So yeah, sometimes you're unlucky and you need platinum and all you find is titanium. Sometimes the other way around, you only find platinum whilst you need titanium.
yeah, which is why you pick it whenever you can.
Depends on whether or not you plan on actually using it. I mean,
Well,
if you
before
want to make the hunter rifle, which costed like 40 platinum ingots, which would equate to 13 1/3 titanium plates, 200 titanium ore. It's very expensive. If you have a Larkwell bow, you don't need no gun no more. So hey, there's 200 titanium ore you already save. But you do need it for some other buildables,
yeah, I mean,
deployables.
if you don't have the Larkwell bow, your next best thing would be the recurve bow, which uses
No,
aluminium.
not really. Recurve and K-Worm are basically similar in performance. And materials for the K-Worm bow, next to the fact K-Worm bow is tier 2, Recurve bow is tier 3. Also, resources for the K-Worm bow are way easier to come by than for the Recurve bow. Recurve bow uses aluminum. The K-Worm bow is just skills and poison stacks, and you repair it with skills. You'll end
Yeah,
up with
but
a ton of skills anyway.
yeah, but the point of that is that if you're a solo player and you don't have the resources to have the Larkwell bow, then your recurve and or the the caneworm bow is the go-to bow for you.
Yeah.
So
And then you want to complement it with a hunter rifle for the big damage numbers. True.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So these are new intermediate resources: gold wire, copper wire, platinum sheath, titanium plate. There's also a change for the refined wood. Before every wood turned into 10 refined wood, it has been nerfed to 5. You now get 5 refined wood for 1 wood.
Yeah, so
Hey, Jason.
you did nerf something, but it just wasn't the weapon, which I like. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Wood usually isn't a problem anyway, so meh.
Well, you never know. We might actually be able to grow some in future. Let's hope. We've given some suggestions. Hi, Jason. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Yeah, so the
Anyway.
refined wood got nerfed, which is fine.
That's fine.
You know, we actually, I mean, we don't use that much refined wood unless it's for, you know, like a better bed or something.
Yet,
We do use it for the kitchen bench and the biofuel oven.
Yeah, but if we read on, it's a bit more about refined wood. Because we've also made some adjustments to improve recipes and provide a simpler and more cost-effective experience when crafting items. Cured leather, now also in the advanced armor bench and the electric armor bench, and not only in the drying rack. Many tier 3 and tier 4 recipes are adjusted to use the new intermediary items that are derived from raw ingots. This is part of our focus on reducing the amount of raw ingots used in crafting recipes, and to be able to correctly scale crafting bonuses now and in the future. So, for example, the wiring tool and the water pipe tool were where they previously used gold ingots, copper ingots, and the carbon. They now use gold wire, copper wire, and carbon.
Yeah,
One thing though, if I recall correctly, they did use 8 copper and 8 gold ingots earlier on. which would translate to 40 gold wire and 40 copper wire. However, the recipes is now 50 gold wire and 50 copper wire. So
it's
it's
more
slightly more
expensive.
expensive, but then again, it's a one-time craft only, and then you can use them indefinitely. So not really that much of a problem.
Yeah, I don't use the wiring system because I couldn't. The entire reason I don't use the wiring system is because it would not work for me. I couldn't even place a bloody node on the floor, never mind hook it up to anything.
Yeah. I have a bit more experience. You should go into your open world, put down a couple of benches, a couple of power sources, and just start playing around with it. Get yourself familiarity with it. Anyway, another change is the tier 3 and tier 4 recipes, previously requiring raw leather, so the normal leather, and wood. They've now been updated to require cured leather and refined wood, as these items better fit in their tier. The refined wood being a tier 3 resource. That makes sense. And yes, like all your tools, they don't use normal wood no more. You need refined wood to make them tools. And cured leather instead of normal leather. So yeah, we didn't use refined wood that much. We will be using it more. Because a lot of recipes, not only tools but also deployables, now use refined wood instead of normal wood. And cured leather instead
Okay,
of normal leather.
so that means we're going to have to start putting the carpentry bench back up.
Yeah, carpentry bench is going to be a requirement. A must-have.
Yeah, it's going to be hell of a slow in making that refined wood, though, huh?
Yeah, so be it. So be it.
Actually, I have a question that's kind of related to the sentence above, right? You know how we can destroy items and we can get approximately half the raw
Yes.
values back.
Uh-huh.
Does that now mean that that's going to work for the gold wire? Can we do that in reverse? And is it going to mean we're only going to get half the resources back?
I haven't tried that yet. I can do like craft 10 gold wire and then destroy it and see if I get 1 gold ingot back. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, but you would have to do 10.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
rounded down. So if you would destroy a single copper, that's a very good question, said Jake. Jake doesn't know either.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. So yeah, but items that use an odd number of resources, if you destroyed it, you got half minus a half, so rounded down of the original resources
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I mean,
So you would
I don't like the fact that we only get half the resources, but I understand it and I can cope with it. But it actually came in handy when I mistakenly made a pickaxe and then I had to destroy it for half of the materials and you had to then make it because you could make it with half the materials.
I could make it with more durability and luckily
Yeah.
half the resource cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of
Yeah.
saved their bacon that day, I'll tell you.
But yeah, like the iron nails, I've done it before. 1 iron ingot for 10 iron nails. You destroy 10 nails, you get nothing back. You destroy 20 nails, you get 1 ingot back.
Yeah.
So, following that logic, 10 wires will give you 1 ingot back.
Yes. Yes.
1
do.
titanium plate would give you 1 titanium ingot back. 2 titanium plates would give you 3 ingots back.
Yeah, Jake says it will be the same. Okay, that's good to know.
If it's the same as for the iron nails, then it will work.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, by the way, Jason says, I wish they'd reduce the electronics cost for the tier 4 processor and furnace. But I like that they are making us use the tables more. As far as I know, Jason, the costs have not been decreased. If you calculate everything back to raw resources. But then again, these are the material processor is the only way to get the composites composites is like the highest end material you can make. So it having a cost does make sense. It being expensive does make sense. I know I've been complaining about the grind to get there because you need it for the mission, but on the other side, don't make it too cheap. It is like the highest end of the material.
Yeah,
And the electric furnace the same.
Jake says that anything using copper, gold, or platinum, not tools, ingots, cost overall has been reduced for things in tier 3 and tier 4.
Not true, Jake. Not true. Like I said, the wine tool and the water pipe tool. Previously, you needed 8 ingots. Now you need the 10 ingots equivalent in wires. So those two became more expensive. In general, okay. Yeah. But yeah, the material processor and the electric furnace, they cost 60 electronics each. So it's not directly using ingots. It's using processed ingots processed into electronics, and then those are the resources you need a lot of for those two placeables, those two deployables.
Yeah.
I have not checked the recipes though. Maybe they have become cheaper, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check those recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason says I don't use space gear and getting to the composites takes a while. True, Jason. Question is though, do you need composite armor in missions? In missions in general, you can get by with the, for example, hunter armor, for which you don't need composites. So yeah, I would say in missions, just go for.
Yeah, I mean, you can survive pretty well with leather armor, fur armor in the Arctic, and cloth armor in the desert. You just have to be able to be really careful with it, know what you can and can't do.
I over prepare our best gear and best food, says Jason. Sure, but if it means 5 hours extra grind for armor that is just marginally better, then you could say, you know what, I'm just gonna stick to the tier 3 armor. By the way, I just checked, electric furnace is still 60 electronics, and the material processor also still 60 electronics, so no changes there.
Mm.
Dying is not an option? Yeah, no.
Yeah, we that's usually not an option for us, but it still happens. We do try. I mean,
fine. Walk it off.
Trust us. There is no such thing as over preparation when you're playing Icarus.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Totally. And you're welcome, Jason. Anyway, more recipe changes. Steel is now also craftable in the stone furnaces, as it establishes itself as a higher tier 2 ingredient, making room for the other materials in tier 3 and 4. Steel is made out of iron and coal, both mineable with a tier 1 pickaxe.
Yes.
Stone pickaxe. So it kind of makes sense that steel would be a tier 2 instead of a tier 3 resource.
Especially considering that you can make the steel bloom in a pestle and mortar, which is also a tier 2 item. Tier 1 item. Yeah,
well,
tier
you
2
can.
item, sorry.
You can actually craft quite a few tier 3 recipes in a mortar and pestle. Composite paste, for example. No, not composite paste. Sorry, the other one below, the carbon paste.
Carbon paste.
You can make them in a mortar and pestle. But
yeah,
it's a
but
tier
you
3
can't
resource.
cook it. You can't cook it in the stone thing.
No.
I mean, it considering that you've got titanium and platinum as tier 3 and 4. I think the steel is better in tier 2 because it actually offers an earlier player something more to deal with.
Yep. So
You know,
I
you can
checked.
get
There's
a better
still
sickle.
tools.
You know,
Still,
you can
yeah,
get better tools, better weapons.
yeah. Steel tools are now they are craftable in the anvil, which is a tier 2 bench.
Yeah,
The steel tools are also a tier 2 unlock.
yeah.
So you can now get steel, you can make the steel bloom, you can smelt the steel, and you can process the steel in tier 2, which is very nice.
Yes. So
Steel change is awesome, says Jason. Yeah, I agree.
for sure. That's a really good change. I think that's going to improve the quality of life for earlier players or new players. You know, without doubt. You know,
Yep.
that's
So
going to
I
make a
like the
huge
change.
change, especially when it comes down to trying to deal with bears and wolves that just like insta spawn 2 feet from your pod. You're dead.
Yeah. I mean, we have done in quick missions. We have done iron tools, iron
Yeah.
knife and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, you need at least iron to be able to skin buffalo.
Yeah.
But in order to not have to go to tier 3, we stick with iron. Now we can go to steel, which is better.
Yeah.
Yay.
Makes total
So, yeah,
sense.
I like the change a lot.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. And there we have
Styx is now
Fisher.
paid content.
Yeah.
As mentioned in week 77, 4 weeks ago, the Styx map and mission pack has now been moved to being a paid DLC after being free for over a year. This change will not impact anyone who already owns Styx. So effectively, anyone who had already bought Icarus before last week automatically had Styx DLC for free. They still have Styx DLC. This change will only impact new players in the future. So anyone who buys Icarus from now on will have to pay for Styx. There's the let's see. Yeah, what's more, in multiplayer games, anyone who does own Styx can launch any Styx mission, outpost, or open world and invite anyone else with Icarus to play with them, even if that person does not own Styx. The only restrictions are the ability to host and not to play in general, and this approach to sharing will be the same for our future paid expansions too. This has been mentioned in patch notes before. You don't have to own Styx to play Styx, just you cannot initiate playing Styx. You cannot start a mission or start an open world
Yeah.
with Styx. You can, however, still join someone who has started a Styx mission or a Styx open world
Yeah.
or Styx outpost.
Mm-hmm.
I like this approach. Obviously, if you're always playing with the same group, only one person then has to buy the Styx DLC. And if you play on dedicated server, for example, you only have like one Styx license, so to say, for your dedicated server. And all the rest of the group does not have to buy Styx DLC, but can still play it on this dedicated server.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're not forcing people to buy the DLC if you want to join your friends who are playing a mission from this DLC.
Yes.
So I like the approach.
I think that is a win-win situation. You know, like you and I, we have the supporters edition, the deluxe pack. You know, first edition, whatever you want to call it, the first cohort edition, whatever you want to call it. But that then means that if Carl, for example, who maybe hasn't bought it,
He has not.
Well, there you go. He can still play in our game because you and I will have it.
Yeah.
So
I am usually host. I have the DLC, so he can join even though he does not have the DLC.
yeah,
No
yeah.
problem
I mean,
there.
I've had a couple of games that I've been absolutely just hooked on, and it was really annoying because half of the group that I played with would have all the new DLCs and stuff, and I just couldn't afford it, which meant, unfortunately, I couldn't game with them, which meant
Yeah.
that I ended up dropping off at the end of the pack because I couldn't keep up, because at that point in my life, I actually couldn't afford to buy the DLCs, and they were anywhere from 30 to 80 quid, depending on the size of them. They were horrifically expensive.
I know.
So the fact that Rocketworks have done this, I think, is a major decision, and I cannot applaud them enough.
Yeah, Jake says it's super important to us, and this will be the same for all the maps and modes going forward. Interesting, by the way, Jake, that you make a difference between maps and modes. So we have missions, we have open worlds, we have outposts. We're gonna get more modes. That's cool. Interesting.
Sweet, we like the sound of that. So yeah,
everything you say will be used against you, Jake.
Yeah, the styx maps and missions, as you can see from the little clip here, is now going to be paid, and the interior decorations DLC is also now paid.
I believe that one was already paid. DLC.
Yeah. Well, it was for us. If you like what we're doing with Icarus and you want to support our continued development, consider purchasing one of our DLCs for a few dollars. It would mean a lot to us. Now, that's one of
indeed, it's just a couple of bucks.
That's one of the other things that I was going to say here, is that this is such a reasonable price. I mean, good God.
Yeah.
There are coffee houses in town and you can't get a coffee for less than that.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. For the price of, for the sake of an overpriced cup of coffee, you're gonna miss all that gameplay. Nah.
Exactly.
Most definitely worth it. If you've not got it, go out and get it. For God's sake, just do it. You do yourself a favor. So, yeah, I love the fact that you have this very reasonably priced. Absolutely. Allows accessibility to more and more players, which is always good news.
Yeah, it's nice and affordable.
Yeah, although if you don't have the base game, you're kind of screwed. Shame on you.
Yeah, but come on, you need the base game in order to play the game,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And Jake says, "Oh no."
Yeah, everything you say. Yep.
Oh yeah, and sometimes even things that you don't say can be read into as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've done that too. So
I read between the lines because I can't read proper.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my educational trade is qualified forensic scientist, and we are taught in that situation what is missing is just as important as what is there.
I work in IT. A long time ago, this was very true for IT as well.
Yeah.
Back in the days we were working with those cards, with the punch cards.
Yeah.
The holes were more important than the non-holes, so to say.
Yeah.
The holes that's what the information was stored.
Yeah.
So what was not there was more important than what was actually there.
Yeah, exactly. And I've actually found that this is why I don't watch the telly, right? People will watch the news to try and find out what's happening in the world, and my only answer to that is I would rather know what they're not telling us and where that's happening.
Yep. Jake says, now comes my favorite part. The change log! Oh yeah.
That's what
Let's
she
see how
said.
much we can read between the lines here.
All right. Jake says, that's what she said? Question mark? Are you asking or telling?
Oh yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. Anyway, start taking us through this the new content and adjustments.
So we're starting off with the blueprint rework, which we've talked about already.
Yeah.
The rework so that items are in more natural collections and links are better represented. I have one remark here. In the blueprints in the tech tree, the platinum tools now branch off of the cement mixer. Usually it branches off of the deployable where you build it. Platinum tools are still being built in the machining bench, but they are only unlocked after you unlock the cement mixer. They branch off of the cement mixer. So if you look at the tech tree, you could think you have to make them in the cement mixer now. I mean, you still need the cement mixer because you need the cement for the concrete furnace in order to smelt the platinum. So you automatically need to unlock the cement mixer first before you can even make the tools. But it's kind of it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it kind of blurs the lines a little bit.
But the rest is looking good. In the blueprint tree, also shifting some elements around to make better sense of their tiering. The steel tools now being tier 2 and stuff.
Yes, yes.
Added some editor utility widgets for quick lookup of recipes, items, and their unlock tiers and devices. Yeah, I've played the game for so long, I already know. So I actually never looked there.
Okay.
The only thing is, if I don't know where to build it, I look it up in the tech tree and I look where does it branch off. For example, earlier today I was looking like, hey, where did I build this new geode lamp stuff? So I went into the blueprints, search geode lamp. Branches off of the masonry bench. So I went to the masonry bench and lo and behold, that's where I built them.
Yeah, Jake says there's something else coming there. Can't say just yet.
You just did, man. You just did.
Too late. Interesting. Very interesting.
So, this was when we were talking about the platinum tools being branching off of the cement mixer. So are we gonna get like a new type of cement mixer, or maybe a double bench like the fishing bench and alteration bench, where in one half you make cement, and in the other half you make, I don't know, building pieces? You know, Jake, if you say things like that, we start speculating.
Oh, and boy, can we speculate.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hope Cornet and Jake have got their pen and paper at the handy.
Yeah. Electronic one.
Hey, as long as it works, I don't care what form it takes.
Exactly. Good, speculate, says Jake. Oh, we will. I saw a couple of nice things in the future content as well, which is worth speculating, Jake. Don't worry, we will speculate.
Oh yeah, definitely. Adjusted blueprint tree layout so item names are no longer clipped on the bottom. Good, we like that. Dang that clipping.
Yeah, it's on top now.
Okay, adjusting recipes for tier 3, 4 For the inclusion of copper wire, gold wire, platinum sheath, titanium plate deployables mostly affected. Tools still use ingots. That was covered above. Adjusting tier 3, 4 recipes to use refined wood and cured leather instead of basic wood and basic leather, so the deployable reflects their tier. That was also discussed above. Adjusting tier 4 portable beacons, so it is now tier 3 and adjusted recipe cost accordingly. Good, we
It's
like
still
that.
kind of expensive though.
Well,
25 platinum sheath.
all that does is prevent you from making a butt ton of them.
Well, it's still expensive enough to not spend the entire map with portable beacons.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jason says, I can't wait for them rugs.
Rugs are mentioned below. We will get that, Jason. But yeah. Like the one below here.
I can't wait to see whether or not they've got the skull attached to them or not, because I can't wait to trip over my first bear rug by getting my foot stuck in its bloody mouth.
Yeah, and then face planting the head of another bear rug.
Yeah. I mean, just check the recent video, face to face with your enemy I've done quite a few times.
Mammoth rug with the head attached. Oh man.
No, mammoth rug, all you need is the head attached. That's the entrance to the tent that you make out the rest of its skin.
Yeah, but yeah, there is no mammoth rug, unfortunately.
And you could actually use the tusks to prop it up like a tent. There you go. There's an idea. Mammoths are huge. You could make you could actually make a base out of that.
They're like 1.5 wall pieces high.
Yeah.
They're taller than a wall piece, the mammoth trophy.
Yeah, Jason says I'd hate to trip over that. You wouldn't exactly be able to. Yeah, you'd be tripping into a mammoth rug.
You'll run into it face first. You won't trip over it.
Yeah. I mean, you'll run into the mammoth rug and go, "Where are the cave worms?"
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
So, interesting. This is mentioned in new content adjustments, not in future content. Add data and assets for the alpha wolf, bear, buffalo, conifer wolf, cougar, deer, jaguar, polar bear, snow wolf, and snow leopard decoration rugs. Being mentioned in new content / adjustments, one would expect to see those currently in game already. So it looks like my game is having issues. I'm trying to start my open world, but it's sitting on preparing geometry for several minutes already.
Yeah, well, there you go, Jason. You've just been told about them drugs.
I was like, I'm quickly gonna hop into the game and have a look, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Game's acting up.
Okay. So we do have the adjusted recipes here for what was discussed above.
Yeah, those 5 new items.
Yeah.
The change in the refined wood, the 4 new intermediate items.
Yeah. And where the new recipes are going to be found for cured leather. I'm going to scroll up.
Where they now be found as well. Yes.
Yes. Basic wall lights and basic ceiling lights are now craftable on the fabricator and have been shifted to tier 4 as they require electricity.
Yeah, they were tier 3 before. You crafted them on the machining bench. Tier 3. And then you had to wait till tier 4 before you could use them because you didn't have no power.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they are in tier 4 now.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. It's kind of like the lantern thing again.
Yeah.
Recipe adjustment beacons now at tier 3 instead of 4.
Well, it's mentioned like 5-6 bullet points above, but there it was called a T4 portable beacon.
Yeah. And there we have that one repeated again.
Further, some small tweaks and reroute node fixes to the blur point tree. I know Echo, it's supposed to be blueprint tree.
Sacre blueprint.
Sacre blur point. You want to drink something? Yeah. I have a blur point, please.
Sorry, Jack. You pull us in every time we do it.
Oh yeah.
We can't not say anything.
Still being in the stone furnace now instead of the concrete furnace.
Yep. Updating tier 3 blueprint tree to shift concrete mixer right at the front of it. Right at the yeah. For a lot of tier 3 recipes, thank you.
Yeah, it's moved further to the left, further to the front indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Reorganize tier 3 blueprint tree to have all recipes requiring concrete behind the concrete mixer.
New Zealand
I can't
spelling
see it,
bee.
and I can't check it anymore because my game is acting up. Before, concrete building pieces definitely were behind. They did branch off the cement mixer. I'm not sure they are still. Probably they are, but again, I can't check it because my game is acting up. Very annoyingly.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill the game.
Tier 2 lantern is now crafted with epoxy rather than glass. That makes way more sense. And that wasn't mentioned above. It was mentioned that it didn't need glass, but it didn't say what was replacing it.
Actually, animal fat rather than glass. Not sure whether or not you needed epoxy before. A new resource for this tier 2 lantern, which was not in the recipe before, is animal fat.
Yeah, but it says just under here, it says tier 2 lantern now powered by animal fat where it's turned on. It will take durability, and when it breaks can be repaired. It basically just says the same as it says above, although it says it should last around 40 minutes of 45 minutes of real time when on, which is good.
It has a durability of 2700, and it when activated, it ticks down 1 durability every second. So 2700 seconds is 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, how long does a
rectals last? I have no idea.
We haven't really tested that. Nope. I'd probably say about 10 minutes if you use it all the time.
Let's see. Concrete. No, concrete never was branching off the cement mixer. Still is not branching off the. Well, cement mixer is now smack in the middle of the middle horizontal line in the blueprint tree. Basically, 75 to 80% of the tier 3 blueprints are now locked behind the cement mixer.
Well, that makes more sense.
Not for everything, like the copper wire and the gold wire, electronics, platinum sheath, it's all locked behind the cement mixer. They are not directly dependable on the cement mixer. Indirectly, yes. Or at least gold wire, because you can't smelt gold in the stone furnace. You have to smelt them as you have to smelt gold in the concrete furnace, for which you need cement. So an indirect dependency. Copper wire though, copper you can smelt in the stone furnace. You craft it on the machining bench, so copper wire is not depending on the cement mixer.
Yeah. Okay.
I see like all the tier 3 deployables, or at least quite a few, who use biofuel are now dependent on the biofuel can. You first have to unlock the biofuel can before you can unlock those devices.
So that would include the tier 3 cooking biofuel stove?
No, not those. Let's see, where are those in the blueprint tree?
Well, you get the tier 3 kitchen bench, and then you get the oven that goes next to it.
Yeah, that's how it was before.
Yeah,
They still runs off the kitchen bench. However,
that
the kitchen bench itself.
requires biofuel.
No, the kitchen bench does not. It's the biofuel stove. The kitchen bench is behind the cement mixer. So you have to unlock the cement mixer in order to unlock the kitchen bench.
Well, that doesn't make sense because you can get
Interesting choice.
That doesn't make sense because no, because you need refined wood for that.
Yeah, but you don't need cement for the
No,
refined
you
wood
don't.
is in the carpentry bench. Carpentry bench, you don't need no cement.
No, but you don't need any cement for the kitchen bench either.
No, I know. So, like I said, interesting choice to make them all depending on the cement mixer. Carpentry bench, by the way, is a tier 2 item.
Yeah.
Tier 2 deployable. So, yeah, again, a very interesting choice to have everything behind the cement mixer. But
Okay.
yeah, not our decision to make.
No, I mean they're obviously making it for some other reason. I mean, Jake did say earlier on, we've changed that to there because there's something that he can't talk about that's coming later that they've obviously had to make room for. So I'm just going to assume that these changes have been made because there's something else coming later that we don't yet know of.
It's more like
which will
reorganized
make
tier
more sense of the
3,
shuffle.
more like the reorganized tier 3 blueprint tree to have all recipes requiring concrete behind the concrete mixer. Yeah, all those
Yes.
recipes plus a lot of others which are in no way dependent on cement mixer.
Yeah, Jake says it
Jason,
was
impossible
impossible.
to make all the connections perfect. Cement mixer was the almost key for tier 3. Enables furnace, which enables biofuel, etc. True. Glass working bench, for example, does not use any. Glass working bench. Okay, glass. You need to smelt glass in the concrete furnace. Another one, the iron crates and cupboards. They are now also behind the cement mixer. It is not dependent on the cement mixer at all. Advanced textiles bench, idem, behind the cement mixer, is not depending on it at all. Your grenades, smoke grenade and fry grenade, idem. But yeah, oh well.
I'm just going to make the assumption that they've made the changes because there's changes to come that require the reorganization, so these may make more sense later on.
And then again, it's just one extra blueprint point. Sure, people who are leveling their characters exactly around this point right now, they will, for those players who will have the most impact to this. But other than that, it's just a single blueprint point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Textiles need platinum, needs furnace, needs cement, lots of implied. Platinum weave, true. Yeah, platinum weave, you're right. So, items crafted in the textiles bench.
Yeah, okay. So finally, on the adjustments part, we have updated platinum weave recipe to use 2 platinum weave instead of 1 ingot. 50% cost reduction, slightly more processing. So it takes slightly longer to make, but it uses half the cost.
Yeah, platinum weave, recipes. And so instead of using 1 platinum ingot, you now use 2 platinum weave. So you have to turn your platinum ingots into platinum weave, but you only need 2 platinum weave instead of 1 platinum ingot, and you get 4 platinum weave per ingot. Although I have to say, like a lot of them recipes, like all the armor recipes, they were already using platinum weave instead of platinum ingots.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, platinum tools. No, platinum tools still ingots. I have to check which items now use platinum weave platinum weave instead of ingots. No.
Alrighty. So shall we move on to what they fixed?
Yeah, let's do.
Alrighty. And let's discuss whether or not they have actually been fixed.
I can only say this for things I already tested.
Yeah, Jake says, I believe it's now 2 sheath to 1 weave, as opposed to one ingot, 1 weave. Yeah, so you get one ingot, 2 sheaths. Designer made a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
Gee, silly us for not guessing.
Okay, yeah. I'd have to check. I'd have to check the cost of the platinum weave, see whether or not it now uses sheath or ingots. I just restarted my game. Let's hope I can now actually load my open world.
Okay, so it should be 2 platinum weave instead of 1 platinum sheath.
It was already platinum weave, but earlier it's 1 ingot to 1 weave.
Oh, right. Now
if 1 weave is now 2 sheath, then it's 1 ingot to 2 times 2 sheath. So 2 times platinum weave.
Okay.
Textiles, bench, electric, platinum weave, yeah, fiber and platinum sheath. So yeah, there's indeed the 50% cost reduction for the platinum weave. Yay!
We like that. We like cost reductions.
To an extent, yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're all right with the refined wood nerf. Being honest, we didn't really use it that much, but now we're going to be using it more, and I like that.
Let's see. I wanted to check something before when my game was acting up. Oh yeah, the rugs. The rugs.
Yeah.
Then they are not in the electric textiles bench rugs.
So that should have been future content.
I don't see it anywhere here. It's not in the rustic decoration bench. Where else could one expect these rugs to be?
I don't know.
So Jake, are the rugs in already? Seeing the fact that they were mentioned in the new content? Or is it actually still future content?
I would be inclined to say that's still future content.
Future content. The commit was in the wrong category. Hence, okay. So I don't have to look for them. Oh, and by the way, Jake, something which I have not seen in any of the patch notes, but I did notice before. Thank you for making sure we can have more than 3 fish in an aquarium.
Yes. They were some lonely looking fish in there.
Yeah, I logged into my open world this afternoon, and all of a sudden it was empty. All fish were gone. So yeah, I had to start fishing again to at least get some fish in my aquarium, and then I noticed, hey, I can add 12 fish in now.
That's quite a big boost.
Yep.
Cool.
I just have to make sure I don't put the piranha in.
Yeah. I mean,
That
you
would be
do have to be.
counterproductive.
You do kind of have to be careful of what fish you put in with which fish nowadays. So I
Here's
don't know.
something I want to check out at some point: is can I put salt water and freshwater fish in the same aquarium, and will they then both survive?
Well, logic would tell you no.
Real life logic, but we're talking about game logic now.
Wow.
And something which was mentioned in last week's patch notes fixes. So I caught a fish. I have it in my hand. I walk towards the aquarium. Put a fish in my aquarium. Still showing in my hand.
Yeah.
Even after putting it in the aquarium.
Yeah.
So that has not been fixed yet.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to roll myself a cigarette. Would you start us off, please, Corne?
Sure. Let's see. Added the correct spawn blocker deploy audio sound for a tier 2 spawn blocker. Last week's new content. Now if you put it down, you hear the correct audio. Like the placing it down sound. Good.
Good.
Fix modifier audio to update correctly if the modifier state's changed while the player is mounted. Fixes bug where exposure vocalizations, storm sounds, could continue to play indefinitely if player hopped on a mount during a storm and other similar scenarios. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, cool. If you catch a fish in a fish trap, you can still put it in the aquarium. There's one full aquarium now.
Good.
Anyway, yeah, we don't use mounts that much, so I'd have to start mount a mount or start riding a mount during a storm in order to see whether or not this has been proper fixed now. I believe this was mentioned in last week's patch notes as well that I fixed this.
Yeah, we also had similar issues when Icarus was, just like freshly being born, in so much as, the storm would finish and you'd hear it for hours afterwards.
No, not when you were just walking normally. And I do recall having noticed this indeed in combination with mounts. But I believe last week's patch notes already mentioned this being fixed. Apparently it was not fixed properly then.
Okay.
Where, like I said, I would have to start riding a mount during a storm in order to see whether or not it has been proper fixed. Anyway. Prevent wood rag torch audio from playing movement driven whooshes when it's equipped in the L slot. I liked it when I was running through the night, bunny hopping. You hear the sound of you moving.
Because it would help. Not only could you see, but it would give you the audio clue that it was on.
Way more immersive.
Yeah, I quite like. I actually, that was one of the things that I noticed about the change that they made when it was possible to put that into the L slot. Was that that whoosh sound was one of the first things I noticed about it. I loved it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, no more.
Jake says, removing the swoosh sound from torches is great. I hate that sound. Sorry, dude. I love it.
It's personal.
No worries. You're not going to start swinging a lit torch at a wolf and not expect it to make a noise. Same thing when it's sitting on your hip. If it's lit, it's going to make a noise.
Yeah. just logical. Anyway, Jason also asked for like a nice long mission where we have to make one of everything. Would be nice. Well, you could do it in an exploration mission, for example, Jason. You'll have enough time there, 30 days.
Yeah.
So there's time enough for you to make one of everything.
Yeah, you could even do it 4 times over and make one of everything in each biome.
Yeah. I mean, then why would you want like the normal textiles bench, the advanced textiles bench, and the electric textiles bench? If you can make everything from the normal in the advanced and everything from the normal and the advanced in the electric one. But hey, you still can make them all.
Yeah.
You're only limited by your own patience.
Yeah. And the amount of thumpers you can get through.
You only need to build it once. Unless you get it destroyed, then yeah, then you should have defended it better.
True.
Let's see the next one, which is actually a big one. Fixed where only the last damaging player received the accolade progress for killing animals and bosses, especially bosses. Now they fix it. Any player that damaged the creature will now receive the progress. Remember, say when we did do the mammoth, where
yes.
we were shooting all different sorts of arrows into the mammoth.
Yeah.
And making the ghost mammoth by firing flare arrows in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Only the one who dealt the killing blow got the accolade.
Yes. But what that did was it encouraged you to do the same boss several times, but it also meant that after a certain amount of time with doing damage, only one player who didn't have the accolade was the one to shoot that boss in order to get the accolade, because we've been there, we've done that.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah. So now everyone who did do damage to the animal will now get the accolade. Which is good. Especially if you, for example, play in a team of 5 or so. You don't want to do that mission 5 times over.
No.
In order for everyone to get the accolade.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that I do like it. I did also like the fact that we had to go the workaround in order for people who didn't have the accolade yet, but that does actually make it makes more sense. You know, if you're part of the kill, then you should get the progress.
Exactly.
And not just the person who got the killing blow. Because when that first happened to me, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. How come I've not got that? I took part in that. I helped kill it and I don't have the accolade. And that's when we figured out that it was actually only the person who got the kill shot.
Yeah, only one dealing the killing blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm glad I fixed that.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. I did logging whenever new UI elements push pop or clear the input stack.
Yeah, added logging, say not really something we would notice. More for troubleshooting.
Okay. Reduced points required for Kia bestiary unlocks.
Who? Kia, huh? I rather have it for the land shark.
Yeah. Kias are easy to kill as long as they're not really in the air. I mean, you can run up to a Kia on the... Yeah, I mean, they don't take an awful lot to kill. But...
And there are tons of Kia around anyway.
Yeah.
Land shark, however, there's a whole different story. First, you have to mine a ton in order to get the high danger, to get the guaranteed land shark. And then you have to kill it.
Yeah.
Which is not an easy feat to do.
No, and you've got to do that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Corrected typo in burning modifier description.
I reckon the fire arrow.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it doesn't really state anything about the burning modifier. Or is this burning modifier one of the new modifiers being talked about in the future content?
Oh, good point. Okay. Can't answer that.
Okay.
Fix broken wood rag torch audio logic, which was preventing douse sounds from playing when equipped in the L slot.
DAO sounds. So
Putting it out.
walk in war and it goes out. That sound?
Or when you put it out yourself.
Yeah, also possible.
Updated spawn blocker description to better fit with in-game language.
So basically, the new items from last week, if you hover over them, they have this nice description, the creature deterrent stuff. So basically, make the description in line with the other descriptions.
Yeah. Yeah. My question actually with regards to the spawn blocker is that, I mean, like, you can put up a scarecrow, right? Do you remember the days when we would make crop plots galore when we went to the desert so that we could have everything that we had in the forest biome? And then
Yeah,
we'd lose half of it because the elephants would walk all over it and the cougars would eat it and
no,
damage
cooks
it.
wouldn't
And
eat it, but it was the elephants walking over it,
yeah, I mean,
destroying the crop plots.
you would put a railing up around your crop plots, right? The elephant just walks straight fucking through it.
Yeah. So now
You could
you
put
just put
concrete railings up, and the elephant would still walk straight through it.
you had to build a wall around it.
Yeah.
It's the same if you put a railing and you put a buffalo inside the railing. Buffalo is just going to walk over it. It steps over the railing. The railing isn't high enough.
Yeah.
Now we have the creature deterrence. So now if you put a scarecrow or a tier 3 or a tier 4 one up, animals won't roam into that area no more. So elephants won't trample your crop plots no more.
Well, it says they won't spawn in that area. It doesn't mean to say
Yeah.
they won't walk in that area.
Actually, if you read last week's patch notes, they won't spawn, but they also won't roam into that area. Still,
Okay.
if they are chasing you, they will still come into that area.
But
But
yes,
when they're just
yes.
walking around, they're not gonna get into the area no more.
Okay. Yeah, because that was kind of annoying, just to have an elephant walk through your garden and just crush all your plants, and then you'd go and see how they were growing.
Well,
It's like, what the hell happened? Why is there an overflow bag where my crop plot would be?
crush the plants isn't the biggest issue. The bigger issue was like it completely destroys your crop plot. Your entire crop plot is gone.
Yeah, which means your seeds are gone. Anything you were growing was gone.
Materials gone. So you need the new materials to
Yeah.
make a new one.
Yeah.
There's no longer a problem now. Not with these deterrents, creature deterrents. So
Well,
that's good.
that is indeed good news. I like that.
Same here.
Next one, if you please.
Next. Fix mission completed UI audio queue not playing by adding mission FMOD event reference to player feedback audio component. Alright, so mission is complete, but Sol doesn't say anything.
That's almost as good as him having to say it twice.
Well, I'm glad it is now fixed, because it's part of the mission is Sol telling you, hey, you did a good job, now get the heck out of there, and then you can get your rewards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually the sound that you listen for at the end of a mission, and if you don't get it, it's like, okay, what did we not do?
Come on, everything is ticked, yet Sol didn't say anything. Is mission completed, yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the next step? Get back to the drop head. Right, okay, we've done it. Okay. Fixed bug where picking up freshly cut wood would recalculate the amount of wood rewarded, causing it to not match the amount of wood shown on the tooltip. The recalculated amount was using the harvesting rewards stat instead of the felling rewards stat, resulting in potentially lower rolls depending on the item held.
If you have an X which gives you extra wood stats, or an attachment on your X. So you cut down a tree, you're felling a tree, and then you cut it up and you pick up the wood. It should use the felling stat. Instead, it was using harvesting stat. So basically, pick up by hand.
Yeah,
I'm glad I fixed that.
yeah, that makes more sense now.
Because you invest materials into the attachment for getting more wood when cutting down a tree. You put it on your axe, and then you don't get no more wood. That would be a waste of resources.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I fixed it, and it's working proper now. That's
Yep.
good.
Fix a
Okay.
solar panel not having a durable setup, resulting in it being immune to all damage. It now has 2500 HP.
Yeah, it was in the intro already, in the patch notes already as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
With this one, also the water pump has gotten 2000 durability, and the portable beacon 5000.
Okay.
Yes, I skipped one, but these two are basically the same thing. So the water pump, the solar panel, and the portable beacon now have a durability, and they will take damage if you hit it.
Yeah. Okay.
Added data table validation on items' static durability. I reckon it has to do with the same.
Yeah.
Fixed the chilled modifier from applying to non-spoilable items. Basically, if it doesn't spoil, it doesn't need the chilled modifier. Because
Yeah.
chilled modifier is basically reducing the spoil time.
Yeah. So you don't need to put pickled carrots in the fridge.
For example.
But I'm
Same
really
as
glad you can
you
now
don't
put...
need to salt pickled carrots.
Yes. Or pumpkin bread.
No, there were like the pickled carrots and pickled strawberries and stuff. You could put them in the salting bench and you could salt them. So
Yeah.
you have pickled carrots in a jar and then you put salt on the outside of the jar? Huh.
I suppose it's a good indication to know whether or not your jar's leaking.
True that, true that. Yeah, it didn't really make sense.
No. No.
Anyhow. Add a scroll difficulty indicator to open world and mission select terrain selection widgets. Yeah, talked about before. Together with please give us an option to for the checkbox like I know, don't tell me again.
Yeah.
Mark fresh veggie types as harvestable with a sickle. Talked about it above as well.
Yeah.
Added a bit more flavor text for some fish food items. Okay. I'd have to. I just exit the game, so I'd have to log in. Plus, I have no comparison no more. But yeah, a bit more text. Always nice. This is an interesting one. Added small, medium and large carcass rewards. Allowing scaling of item rewards based on the size of the carcass. Remember where we talked about before about like you kill a buffalo, it's a big ass carcass and you only get like what 5 or 6 bone?
Yeah.
Same with an elephant. It's a big ass animal. Big ass carcass. You only get a handful of bones. Sometimes you got more bones from a rabbit than you got from an elephant. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, not only bones by the way, also the amount of meat. Well,
Yeah.
looks like they finally did something about that. Small, medium and large carcasses. I reckon Kia and rabbit being small, elephant, mammoth being large.
Yeah.
You have the antelope and the large antelope might be the medium and the large carcass. Bears, I would say, would be large carcass as well. Chamois being medium, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. And the next one related to this, added data table validation to ensure carcass rewards match the carcass defined size.
Yep.
Also added a polar bear cup carcass description and flavor text. No longer just this polar bear cup. But apparently now also gives you some more info.
Okay.
By the way, another small carcass.
Yeah.
And add item rewards to plants newly harvestable via sickle. Item rewards? I don't know. Not sure what those item rewards are, but if it's like
Like
you get more if you have a better sickle, or a sickle with an attachment.
Or instead of picking one by hand, you maybe get two with a sickle.
And if you have an attachment on your sickle for you get more items.
Yeah. Makes sense. I have the ability to harvest more wood by hand anyway on my main character, so.
Yeah, and then we would have to do a bit of testing. You pick up by hand, I use this fully kitted out sickle and then see whether or not there's a difference.
Yeah.
In,
Well, we would have to do it so that you pick a handful and I pick a handful to make it, to see where the differences are.
And also compare your buffed one with a sickle. The amount of items you harvest by sickle.
Yeah.
That is something we can do at some point if you have a bit more time.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, IRL is taking a lot of precedence at the minute. I'm hoping that will fall back to normality next week.
I will see. Anyway, we now come to my favorite part, the future
content, where we get to speculate.
Yeah, a bit more talk about rugs, this time in the future content.
Yeah, yeah. You got the pen and paper handy, Jake?
So, the third one is already an interesting one.
Well,
adding recipes for remaining.
I was actually just going to say, can we jump straight to the first one and fix some more rugs that were crashing the game due to lack of CPU access on the static mesh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
more talk about rugs this time in the future content.
Yeah. Okay. Third one.
Adding recipes for the remaining ironwood tool set, as well as the ability to craft refined ironwood, cold steel ingots, and shaped obsidian. So I see three new resources here.
Yep.
Ironwood, cold steel, shaped obsidian. I reckon obsidian, you mine obsidian, you turn into shaped obsidian. But
yeah.
Ironwood, cold steel. Interesting. And there are a couple of more things about these new resources, but we'll get there later on in the future content.
Okay.
ammo, obsidian, cold steel, and iron wood. Ammo for bows, crossbows, and firearms.
Okay.
So maybe we will get obsidian bullets. We discussed about this last week.
Yeah, obsidian
Will
arrows.
will it withstand the
spears,
acceleration
knives,
when
yeah.
firing? But okay.
Yeah. And they've been adding images for the same.
Yep. Adding obsidian axe and pickaxe, sure. The next one, adding thorned, frosted, and chilled alterations for the new cold steel and ironwood special tool interactions.
Ooh.
Frosted and chilled for cold steel, thorned for ironwood, maybe?
Yeah.
But alterations. Now, chilled alteration or frosted alteration on
cold
arrows.
effects. Yeah,
If you
cold
do this on
effects.
arrows, will this then slow down the animals you're shooting at? A frosted and a chilled alteration. I mean,
Thorn
currently we
sounds
have
like it would
the freezer, right?
yeah.
Or like the tier 4 one. They like completely stop all spoiling, which gives the what was the name of the alteration it gives? Chilled?
Frozen.
Or was it a frozen one?
It's frozen. I think.
It was in the fixes it was mentioned. Come on, why can't I see it no more?
Looking in the wrong place?
Chilled. Fixed shield modifier from applying to non-spoilable items. So now next to chilled we also get frosted.
Okay, that sounds like you can make cocktails.
No, but I'm more like, okay, I know chilled alteration on a storage device. But this is for cold steel and ironwood tool interactions. It's gonna be interesting. And I have no idea how I should read this.
My brain goes to knives with that. Maybe knives and spears.
Yeah, but what will this alteration do? What will? I mean, later on there is mention about a knife with a burns alteration gives you a chance to get cooked meat upon skinning, or at least that's how I read that bullet point. But would this then mean you skin an animal with a cold steel knife with this chilled alteration and you get like insta frozen meat?
I don't know.
Also, if you look at the bullet points below this one, adding pretty crushed frozen ore, infected bark, acidic glands, and recipes to clean them for their final resource. Well, a cold steel pickaxe. And if you use that on mining, you have frozen ore, and you have to like thaw it out before you can use it. If so, why would you do it?
Maybe you need
then frozen ore, I would say, is the deep ice. The deep this is the ice bore for some the sort of super ice stuff.
If you have a cold steel pickaxe that has the frosted or chilled alterations, maybe that's what allows you to break obsidian to make it brittle.
No, don't think so. You don't smelt obsidian either. You cut it. Like firestone, you know, you hit it with another stone and you break away the parts you don't need.
Yeah, you shape it like flint.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same with obsidian. Obsidian you don't smelt. I don't know. Or do you need a pickaxe with the frosted or the chilled alteration for this super ice or whatever the resource was named? You know, there's the new deep ice war or something, or the cold ice war or something mentioned in earlier patch notes.
Don't forget, we're gonna have like brand new animals and maybe these frosted and chilled alterations with the cold steel and ironwood special tool interactions may be helpful for taking out, say, the lava hunter
Exactly.
because it's weak to chill and frost.
Yeah, there was indeed another direction I was thinking about. Animals being resistant to one thing but weak to another thing. Indeed, a fire animal being weak to cold weaponry.
And or water.
Yeah. Throw
Yeah.
water bomb at the lava hunter, and it's like, oops, I'm gonna run.
How's about if you could throw a water bomb and then hit it with an ice arrow? You could turn it into an instant statue.
Yeah, and now you hit it with a
Y-
normal arrow, and it just disintegrates.
Yeah,
Would be fun.
yeah.
Following that train of thought, can you fight this animal during a shower? And will it then be weaker?
Yeah. Does the fact that this animal gets wet in the rain mean that our electricity arrows are going to be like seriously OP?
Would be interesting. I'm not sure
Yeah.
the lava biome will have the normal showers though. They most likely will have like the heavy ash rain and stuff. But if the temperature is like seriously high, you might not even get a proper rain.
Yeah, maybe acid rain or something.
Yeah. Acid rain is still rain. It still cools down. But yeah. I don't know. There's no idea what to think about these thorned, frosted, and chilled alterations. What they might be used what they might be useful for. What they're going to be used for.
Yeah, but
A
then
couple of
but
possibilities are mentioned now. So
yeah, I mean, we also have the pyritic crust, which is, I don't know, I'm thinking like lava crust. When it
I
starts
don't know.
cooling, frozen ore, infected bark implies poison of some sort. Acidic glands, well, we've just mentioned acidic rain, so acidic glands kind of makes sense.
Pyritic crust is pyritic yellow mineral found in igneous and metamorphic rocks and in veins. It's a source of sulfur
Yeah,
and
sulfur.
used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid.
Yeah, because you see stuff like
Uh,
that in yeah, actually, like on
yeah.
Earth here,
Food scrolls, basically.
yeah, it's sulfuric shite,
Yeah.
poisonous.
I can see Jake trying to not type anything in chat now. Like, no, it's going to be used for this. It's going to be for that.
No, he's too busy scribbling down our ideas.
Also possible. James says, when you guys go on the testing branch of the new DLC, will you start new characters? Yes, Jason,
Yes, we
we
will.
will.
Yes, we will. That's part
We
and
will.
parcel of the
Yes,
challenge.
we will so definitely, like we did with Styx, we definitely will start new characters. Starting from Jake Zero, from level 0, like really nothing. And yes, this DLC is probably, hopefully, going to be even harder than Styx. So we will
Yeah.
die a lot early on.
Yeah.
But come on, it's all part of the fun.
Jason's like, zippy mouth shut.
Yep. Not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Jake said the zippy mouth shut. And Jason says level 1 in that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right? We will die a lot, but hey, it's all part of the fun, and it
Yeah.
makes for good content for you folks to watch.
Yeah, I mean
You can't wait. Yeah, neither
that's
can we, man.
pretty much what happened when we did the Styx beta testing. It
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yes, we died a lot, but hey, come on.
It's
Uh,
Do you remember
y-
when
y-
we got stuck up the poles at Ring Lake because of the crocs? We got
oh
stuck
yeah,
up the totems. We didn't exactly know what to do, so you made
yeah,
an absolute beeline for the
yeah.
house and kind of got your stats back up, and then said, "Fuck it, just run."
Picked up
And
the
we
beacon
ran.
because it was like the last step.
Yeah, we ran. We absolutely ran.
But also remember when we landed, like you get out like the first time we landed there, you get out of your dropship.
Mhm.
You take 3 steps and you're toe to toe with a bear.
Yeah. Or a
Yes, you'll
wolf.
die. But hey, come on, it's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
Dying in a group is fine, says Jason. Is dying solo, that sucks. We have had instances where we both died, Jason.
Yes. And at that point, it was a case of, okay, who's going to take the experience hit for science?
And then if that person died whilst trying to revive the other one, then the other person respawned and took the run and tried to revive. It took us a couple of times when we were in the lake in the south of the central river. I don't know. We had like 4 or 5 respawns running to where we died before I finally managed to get you resurrected. To get you
Yeah, well,
revived.
look how many times when we had made that cave in the back of the waterfall, how many times did we get stuck, either trying to get in or trying to get out for the bloody crocs?
Yep.
You know, I mean, we at that point, I think we had like a 5 or 6 death attempt just to get back to the house.
Yep. And indeed, that level with the mammoth, where the so there's a mini boss polar bear and it was the mammoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. What was a mammoth one? But polar bears started to weigh in as well.
Yes.
We also had one with polar bear mini boss kill the cubs, which are basically the size of an Olympus polar bear, and then kill mama bear during
Yeah.
a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fell down the pit and I was frozen and I had a cave cough. I couldn't jump no more, so I had to light a torch in order to get. I could barely get warm enough in order to jump again.
Yeah.
But hey, it was fun. So yeah,
It
we
was.
definitely gonna do the same again if the new DLC lands. We're definitely
Oh my
gonna
God!
make new
Yeah.
characters again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to be part of the first team that's testing that.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my God,
absolutely.
that's going to be so much fun.
It's very entertaining watching us suffer in the game. Thank you, Jason. But hey, it's good content. I don't care.
We suffer so that you guys and peeps know what not to do.
Exactly. We suffer so you don't have to.
Yeah, well, we try to. And some of
No,
us suffer more than others.
no, we suffer. We suffer so they don't have to. I mean, if they
Yeah.
still do, that's their choice.
Yeah.
But they don't have to.
Yeah. And if you know how to do it in a group, then being able to do it as a single person should be applicable. It's doable. You know, I mean, there are ways and means of, you know, you can cheese so many things, but we choose not to.
To be honest, standing on top of the pole is kind of cheesing it. We
yeah,
do
but
that quite a lot, but yeah.
we've done that since day dot. We were doing that in the bait weekends
Hmm.
because, well, don't forget, you know, we did have bear apocalypse that was then followed by wolf apocalypse. You know, that made the game also interesting.
Oh yeah.
You know, you drop ship
Yeah.
lands, you travel 2 feet, you get killed by a bear. You drop
Yeah,
back
anyway.
down, travel 1 foot, get killed by the
The
same
poison
bear.
watermelon. Wow, that was a long time ago indeed.
Yeah,
Back in the days,
when
if
it
you
made you
ate,
sick.
yeah, well, it had a chance of making you sick. So
Yeah.
usually, you got
First
sick.
time you ate it, it would make you sick. Yeah, we had that. And not only did it make you sick, but the remedy that was then made just in the mortar and pestle didn't bloody work. So you literally just had to eat a fuck ton of food and literally ride it out because the potions that were supposed to combat it didn't work.
You'll be fine. Walk
You'll
it
be fine.
off.
Walk it off.
Exactly.
Yeah. We always walk it off, don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you go back to the patch notes,
Yeah.
so infected bark.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
acidic glands. So they are going to be raw resources, and
I
we will get
reckon they might.
recipes to do something with them.
Well, don't forget we've got the lava hunter come in. We
Yeah, but
have
it's
we
more
have
like it's interesting raw resource, infected bark.
yeah, infected with what?
Exactly.
Hey, it's me again.
It's me
Welcome,
again.
welcome. Good to have you back.
Exo, how about having the choice to have separate workshop inventories and exotics for your new character? Currently, that function is not in the game. How we did it with the Styx characters, we kept track of the mission rewards, and we only used those currencies to buy equipment for these characters. But it was all done in Excel, just a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Would be nice if you could do it, but it should be optional. If you could do it in game, but I can see how that could be hard to code in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And we will do the same for these characters as we did for Styx. Start with new level 0 characters with 0 workshop items.
Yeah.
And we have to do missions in order to earn the currency in order to buy workshop items. We will do exactly the same.
Yeah, and that's where our knowledge of the game, knowledge of certain attacks, can be very useful. For example, we didn't start brand new characters. I don't know whether or not anybody noticed, but we didn't start brand new characters in the Styx until we had mastered the bear dance. Because the bear dance,
we kinda mastered that before we started Styx, luckily.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, knowing that one thing saved our butts so many times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To the point now where when we see a bear and we're both running together, it's a case of, okay, do you want to fist a bear?
Yeah. Earlier it was like, it's a bear, run away. Now it's a bear, let's kill it.
Yeah,
Within 2 words
long gone are the days when we were skirting around the map using the edges to navigate by because it meant we didn't have to come across a bear. When we go into the new DLC, it's all going to be exactly the same. We're going to have to take a huge step back.
Oh yeah, new animals. I mean, no idea how to handle them. So yeah, it will be careful at first until we get used to them, and then yeah.
Yeah, but remember that because we're getting new animals, because we're getting a new map, there's a good possibility that half of our inventory and things are going to change, although I would still expect to be able to do the pickaxe, axe, bow, knife, 1, 2, 3, 4 as your basic weapons. And I hope we can find some really large rocks that we can build our first base in.
That's something we'll have to see when we get there, when we start playing it.
Yeah, But
So whether or not it's
at that point, our experience with the game becomes absolutely critical.
whether or not it can be programmed, don't know actually. Because your workshop unlocks are player based, not character based.
Yes,
So
we're going to have to
workshop.
do.
So is it and like the workshop inventory as well? It's player based, not character based. So yeah, they could probably code such a thing in. The question is it worth the effort? Like, if it's only a handful of people wanting this, and Rocketworks has to spend a ton of time in coding this, yeah, then it's not really worth the effort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that Corne really knows how to use Excel and loves using it, and absolutely
Oh yeah.
adores taking lots of notes about everything so that we can stay on track when it comes down to doing exactly what we're doing now. But yeah, it can be really easy to cheat with a new character because you've got access to all the money from previous characters. But we don't like to do that. We just like to give ourselves a challenge.
At least a bit of a challenge. I mean, once you let's put it this way, Styx doesn't differ that much from Olympus. So the skills we trained on Olympus, we could one-on-one use in Styx.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a struggle at first, but pretty quickly it was like business as usual. Just walk around and not care about the environment too much.
Yeah.
The new DLC is going to be quite different. New biomes, new animals. It's going to take us some time to learn. Hopefully, it will be harder, even after you familiarize yourself with the new environment and the new animals. But yeah, it's harder. Yeah, maybe, Jake. They say Styx is harder than Olympus. Not really.
Well, it was when we first started playing it with a new character because
Yeah, but
I
within
can.
a couple of weeks, it was just as easy.
Yeah, I mean when we first went into it, it was a whole nother level of difficulty. The bears were. I mean, the polar bears were just. I mean, the polar bears were in Olympus were frightening enough, but the polar bears on Styx were like. I mean, where the hell
So
did you get that many steroids from?
that first mission we did in Stakes, where we had to scan in 3 different biomes. One of them was the Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
So we did do the scan in the Arctic, and we had a whole bunch of polar bears coming towards us. So we were like, shit, ton of polar bears.
Yeah.
Okay, we are barely equipped to fight a polar bear, let alone multiple polar bears. And then it turned out they were only cubs. But they were the same size as the Olympus polar bear. And then came the big ones.
Yeah, and then came Mummy, Daddy, Granny, and Grandpa.
Yeah, it was hard, but only till you get familiar with it. Like I said, after a couple of weeks, the difficulty level for Styx was comparable with Olympus. So I do hope the new DLC is and stays harder.
Yeah, yeah, because and I hope that the rewards reflect that difficulty in level.
Would be nice indeed.
Because the highest mission that you can do on Olympus, as far as I can remember, was the Voyager where you had to fix the satellite thing. The one right on the end of the tree. It was Recovery Voyager. Voyager Recovery, whatever it was. and you got like 600 Ren, and I think it was 150 exotics, maybe 200 exotics.
Yeah, there are a few missions in Olympus which give decent rewards. Decent as in, if you have nothing, every reward is decent.
Yeah.
But if you have quite a lot of currency already, and you're trying to save up 1400 exotics for the Inaris pickaxe, yeah, then you want missions with 100 exotic reward instead of a mission with 5 exotic reward.
Yeah. I do expect it to be harder. I look forward to the difficulty change, the difficulty level being further up. I like the thought of it being challenging in so much as starting a new character in Styx was not just as quite as much as a walk in the park as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well.
But it was good, and we had so much fun. So looking forward to it all.
Let's see, Jason says you guys will have to go to Olympus for the cave worm bow. Well, Jason, that is assuming there are cave worms in the new DLC.
Yeah.
We might get a whole different type of cave worms. Different weaponry, maybe a mission where you learn how to craft weapons from those animals.
Yeah, Jason says the game is much more challenging without workshop gear. That was the whole
I totally
point.
agree.
Yeah, but that was the whole point of us starting new characters for the new map.
And
Because
having them a separate inventory set and a separate currency set.
yes, because it meant that we were starting, like a brand new player would. Oh, it's a new DLC. I haven't played it for ages. Haven't even completed all the missions in Olympus, but never mind. Let's go and do this brand new map and see what's going to happen. So we did that.
I know players who said, okay, it's a new DLC, I'm starting a new character and I'm giving it every workshop item I have. And they still couldn't make it.
Yeah.
We consciously said, no, we're going to do it without workshop gear. The only gear we buy is with currency we have earned with these characters.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it should be a bit of a challenge, so yeah.
Yeah. But that was a conscious decision by us, and it will be exactly the same decision when we get the next DLC. I can't bloody wait.
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
But yeah,
back
let's continue
to
a bit to yeah.
with the patch notes. We've speculated enough down that road. Adding Obsidian Whoosh event and audio and fine tunes to the Whoosh notified placement.
Yeah.
Obsidian Whoosh event, what, like for an arrow?
It says obsidian, maybe upon mining. I don't know. That doesn't really say much here.
Okay.
Let's see, any more interesting stuff? Adding ricochet sounds to project for landmine. Okay, so shrapnel from landmine ricocheting off something? Maybe?
Sorry, where are you?
The same bullet point is updated obsidian whoosh sounds. Adding ricochet sound to project for landmine.
Oh, okay.
So the obsidian tools will get their own audio. Good.
Nice.
Removing cave worms from the Prometheus Story 6 cave. That would indicate that the cave worms will still be in Prometheus, just not in this particular cave. So yes, those characters we at some point will have to go into Olympus and do the cave worm mission, or we save up for the Larkwell Martinez bow.
Yeah. well, caveworm bows are going to have to be the go-to for a new character, really, aren't they?
It does mean that we will have to do the Olympus mission for the cave bows, because that is actually a character unlock. Not a player unlock, but a character unlock.
Yeah. Might have to do the same with the exotic node unlock, the exotic vein unlock.
And no, they have changed it. You no longer need to do those missions to unlock the object exchange interface and to unlock the nodes.
Oh. Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, but as far as I know, those are now by default unlocked for new characters.
Jake says
Once you're
the
talking
ones you were
about,
talking about, the ones you were talking about there, we were thinking of making them all account shortly. You're right, they're unlocked by default. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it was quite a few weeks ago already, somewhere in the patch notes, that
Okay.
the exotics were unlocked by default for new characters.
Alrighty.
Jason made a new character for Galileo. He's on a cave form now. Yeah, we didn't do it for Galileo because there wasn't anything new as such in Galileo, like no new biomes, no new animals, no new environments. So that's why we did not make a new character for Galileo.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was a big patch rather than a DLC.
Yeah.
Okay. Added the wounded animations for phase 3 for the lava hunter, as well as splash attack for use in both the geyser attack and the lava bath. More clues. More clues.
So wounded animation. So at some point you damage it enough, it gets wounded and it starts behaving differently. And actually later on there will be a bit more in the future content here about this.
Okay, cool. There's more for our glands or bark and crust.
Yeah. New Prometheus weather events, heavy ash, acid rain,
see, I
embers.
told you.
Those look like heavy ash and embers, definitely lava biome.
Mm-hmm.
Acidic rain, hail, and swamp winds. Well, swamp winds sounds like a swamp.
Yeah, hail sounds like the Arctic. Or
Possibly.
maybe not.
They are looking into a lighter version of the hail for grasslands biome.
Yes, yes, actually.
It's mentioned later on in the future content.
Okay, so this next one I'm assuming is related to the swamp area where our visibility is going to be a little bit less than it should be.
Well, they're talking about fog.
Yeah,
Visibility in swamp is less, but it's because of vegetation.
yeah.
Possibly fog, but primarily vegetation.
Well, it brings a new meaning to getting rid of the fog of war, huh?
True. Yeah, James says, nice to join in with the community creators towards Jake. Definitely. We enjoy it a lot.
Oh
and
yeah.
we appreciate it a lot as well.
Oh yeah. The fact that you come on a weekly, you come and join us on a weekly basis is just fantastic. We love the fact that you're here. And that, you know, we kind of hope it's a two-way street with ideas and tips and info, etc.
The giant rabbit.
Yeah, rabbit boss with a stomp attack, killer Kia with a splat attack, and now we've got the lava hunter with the splash attack and the lava bath, or the geyser attack. Ooh, so good.
It had the Fisher attack. The Lava Hunter mentioned last week in the patch notes, if I'm not mistaken. The lava spitting. It's gonna be a very interesting animal to fight.
Yeah. Don't forget we've got the spine thrower as well. We've got that coming.
The
We've got
needler.
that the needler. We've got that to look forward to.
Yes, yes, you're all great. I love watching these and seeing how much I've messed up. No worries, we'll point it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Hooking up the freeze and the stinky stat afflictions so they trigger when the appropriate stats are present.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. I can see what you call it, virtual reality section of that where you actually have
The smell generator.
a smell generator that attaches to your nose. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Added master materials for scoria infused stone kit, as well as materials and mask texture for several pieces. Scoria infused stone. New building material.
Well, scoria is going to be, scoria has been mentioned.
It's been mentioned before, yes, quite a few patch notes ago. But this is the first time I see scoria infused stone.
Yeah. Which would make it what? Stronger than stone, but not quite as strong as concrete?
I don't know, lighter than stone, I'd say.
Yeah.
Scoria, after all, is highly vesicular, so a lot of air.
Oh, yeah, like the pumice material.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. That's good. But
Yeah.
we asked master materials.
Materials.
Yeah. Sorry, Jake.
It's your New Zealand spelling.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Shunt acids. Add LOD material for shunt acids.
For
FT disabled.
say what?
2 underneath the scoria infused stone. What's the... Well, according to Wiki, Shunt is short for Berg Shunt, which is a crevice that forms when moving glacier ice separates from the stagnant ice or firn above.
Ah. Okay. I'm really interested by the one that's 2 below that.
Yeah.
Added
Indeed,
new
like I
lava
said,
hunter ability to retreat into nearby lava lakes and heal and power up. Added new wounded walk and wounded idle animations.
yeah, the one a couple of above ended the wounded animation for phase 3 for the lava hunter. It was also talking about the lava bath. So you hit it a couple of times and then it's going to retreat into a lava pool, lava lake to heal up.
Yeah.
So that means you'll have to find a way to prevent it from getting back to the lava lake. But if it's a big ass animal, how the heck you gonna... I don't know. I reckon it comes out of a lava lake as well. If so, how you gonna prevent it from going back to the lava lake?
Freeze it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
I
So wanna see and fight the lava hunter.
Oh, I've just had a thought. See the chilled thing and the
frosted, yeah.
The frosted thing.
Yeah, use it against the lava hunter. chill
No.
animals and frost animals arrows.
Maybe they're actually protection against the lava hunter in different ways. Because you've got chilled and you've got frozen, so it's a lava hunter. So if you can stay cool,
So
I don't know.
basically, put it on your armor, and if it spits lava at you, you still have the physical damage from the lava, but you don't get burning damage.
Maybe.
Interesting thought.
Because they are now going on about strengths and weaknesses, so we've got to keep this kind of stuff in mind.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Gonna be nice things to test out once the DLC lands, and we will be able to actually fight the lava hunter.
Yeah. Okay. And here is some confirmation that there's going to be a new tool set out, because it says adding unique obsidian knife / sound and data table entries. So we know we're getting an obsidian knife.
And also throwing knives.
Yes.
Obsidian throwing knives. So somewhere here in the future content there is talk about ballistic statistics for the obsidian knife. Meaning throwing knives.
Okay. Okay. Well, we've got some stuff going on here about Prometheus Story 5. So we have got all of that.
Increase initial damage to deployed fortifications. While you deploy it and immediately takes damage? Okay.
Well, maybe the first hit takes more damage.
Yeah, I don't know. So repair hammer is gonna be way more important then.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see. Next interesting item.
Gonna scroll up, guys, so watch your eyes.
New stats for obsidian weapons, plural. Here, added ballistic asset for SK, K and I obsidian. Knife obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
So, throwing knife.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get a complete ironwood tool set. Of course, there's talking in the next bullet point about the ironwood sickle and axe.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's gonna be a complete tool set. I wonder where they will fit in the
tool effects. Yeah.
I wonder where they will fit in the tree, like between wood and iron. I would say if they're between wood and iron, then why would you make iron wood? Why not make iron straight away? So they must be better than iron. Yeah.
Okay.
Implemented Pritic Crust and
yeah. Gland stat tool effects. Sledgehammer, pick, and your knife. Sledgehammer. Haven't heard that mentioned for a while.
Actually was in, I believe, last week's patch notes still. Sledgehammer for the ice chunks, obsidian rocks, what was it? Not for the normal nodes, not for the boulders, but something in between, which you have to break down with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, yeah. Jake says, I can confirm that ironwood is an internal name and doesn't reflect anywhere near what it is or does now. But he says it's awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
cool.
so
Thank you.
ironwood is the internal name. Now let's hope they don't switch those internal names on a weekly basis, because then we're getting this kind of material, that kind of material, that kind of material, and then later on turns out it was just a name change internal.
Yeah. Wow.
Nah.
We'll find out soon enough, I've no doubt.
Exactly.
First pass of revamp to this first story with new quest steps, mission icons, pre-built structures, and mount.
Pre-built structures. and mount. So we run around, find an abandoned base where still a mount running around. Cool. Yeah, maybe ironwood, cold steel, and obsidian are all the same.
Yeah, whereas you find
That would be how shall we say it? I would be slightly less than pleased if that were so, Jake. You're a tease, like Jason says. Yeah.
maybe ironwood, cold steel, and obsidian are all the same.
Yeah.
Well, hope not.
I would be slightly less than happy.
Slightly less than pleased.
Exactly.
Yeah. One would not be amused.
Exactly. We are not amused.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, this is lowerwood. I believe there was also some with upperwood.
Say what?
Okay, so 2 bullet points down. Added building wall half pitch lower wood. Further up, there's also the half pitch upper wood. Would this mean that, okay, well, right now, if you want to build a half wall, it's always bottom, it's never top. Will this mean we will finally get the top half as well? Could be interesting.
That we can use instead of the lower half?
Because right now, if you do a half wall, it's always the bottom half.
Yeah.
If we would get the possibility to get the upper half as well, then that would be nice for building.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly less than pleased, indeed, Jake. Slightly less than pleased. Anyway. They still could not occupy the same spot, Jason. No, indeed. Of course, then you could as well build a normal wall. But you could make, for example, on layer 1 the lower wall and layer 2 the upper wall, giving you a nice big opening between those two vertical pieces and still giving a separation on the ground level. The opening between those two would be big enough for you to jump through. But there will still be a separation at ground level, which will not stop a buffalo from getting through, but it will stop a moa from getting through.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, there's a couple of things here about story 6. Added new persistent blocker BP and placed it in story cave 6 with appropriate flags in Prometheus, and then story 6 cleaned up blocker, ensure blocker is removed on mission start.
Yeah, but without any more information on what kind of blocker this is, you can't really say anything about it.
Spawn
Jason
blockers
says, I wish we could put horizontal beams on the half walls. Yeah, but that would mean adding attachment points halfway the grid.
Yeah.
It is not like Valheim where you have the 1 meter and the 2 meter beams, and you have like even within your grid you have more points where you can connect an item. Basically, the grid there is smaller. It's a bigger grid in Icarus. So yeah, in Icarus you can't make the railings with beams the same way you can in Valheim. Valheim building pretty unique. I don't know how unique the building mechanism in Valheim is. But like I said, the grid is smaller in Valheim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, if you place a wall, it's basically a 2x2. You love the freestyle. There is still the structural integrity in Valheim as well, Jason, unless you disable it. But by default, there is still structural integrity and connection points and everything. So if you wanna do it, resembling reality, there's not complete freestyle. But the smaller the grid, the more you can build, and the more to your own ideas and fantasies you can build. Plus the rotation, which in Icarus is a 90-degree lock to grid, and Valheim is, I don't know, 30 or 45 degrees locked on grid. That's indeed a difference between Valheim and Icarus.
Mm-hmm. Jason says 2 things that touch but don't snap still tied together in Valheim.
True.
Yeah.
And I've made use of that before, yeah.
Yeah, especially when building fences, but that's a whole nother game. Speaking of building, they've got this vertical beam wood and diagonal beam wood.
Yeah, wood internal wood, refined wood.
Mm-hmm.
Dionysius. Okay.
Cold steel sickle now applies the chilled alteration onto everything it harvests, which gives 100% to its plus 100% to its spoil time. So it takes
indeed.
twice as long to go off.
You harvest frozen carrots.
Yeah, chilled carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason says circles in Icarus are difficult.
There is a YouTube video from a player named Ghost or something with Ghost, which gives a very nice detailed instruction on how to build not circles as such, but coming pretty close to circular build. But it is a long time ago since I've watched this video, but I do know he did make a quite nice video about it.
Yeah.
So, chilled alteration indeed, so then for sickles. Okay, so way above we were talking about the chilled and frosted and stuff alterations, and I was more thinking along the lines of skinning an animal, but yeah, indeed, you can also put it on, and apparently you will be able to put it on a sickle and for harvesting, harvesting frozen veggies.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
And let's see, added base materials for the Thatch buildable kit. And here I was thinking Thatch was already fully developed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like sticks and fiber, there you go.
Yeah. 2 below, wire obsidian knife stud. Chance to cook when skinning.
Ooh.
So you skin a rabbit and you have cooked meat. Cool. Basically, like in Subnautica, if you have the better knife, if you kill a fish with it, it turns straight away into cooked fish.
Yeah, that could be handy.
And there it's an always, and here it's a chance too. Still, maybe with alterations you can increase the percentage chance.
Yeah. Here we have added
That's actually want animal
materials.
pets adjacent. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, added materials and mask textures for a number of stone scoria building pieces.
Building.
Building.
So yeah, scoria infused stone, scoria.
Weighs
So
half as much.
this you build a house which can withstand a thunderstorm, but blows away in the wind, basically.
Or leaks when it rains.
Yeah. But hey, it doesn't take any storm, or it takes less storm damage, unless it blows away and lands in the lake or something.
Yeah. Okay. Obsidian sledgehammer. That's almost a complete contradiction in terms.
Yeah.
You hit an obsidian sledgehammer on the floor, it's just going to frickin' shatter.
It's a one-time use item.
Well, we'll see how expensive it is to craft, and we'll find that out soon enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Ironwood axe behavior, okay. Fix
not the
smelly
way we use them on
damaging
Icarus, says
objects.
Jake. Jake says obsidian basically acts differently on Icarus than it does on Earth. As yes, the exotic Icarus obsidian. Okay, I see.
Okay.
Maxwell Silver Hammer, says it's me again. Yeah, it is an interesting one. I have not seen anything about a workshop sledgehammer. Will there be such a thing, Jake? The sledgehammer is going to be a new tool. All the tools currently in game also have at least one workshop variant. But we haven't seen anything in the patch notes, unless we both missed it, about a workshop sledgehammer. Huh. Combine this with the fact that you can, which was mentioned last week, I believe, in the patch notes, you can call in a drop pod with equipment from the space station.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like all tools workshop variant. You drop down with half of it and you call down the rest.
Yeah. Means you don't have to worry about not being able to take what you need in one run.
Exactly. Also, repairing, you don't need to get repair kits with you. You just have to make sure you have enough spare items still in the space station. You just call down a pod with a new one. Just don't forget to take everything back up, send everything back up.
Extremely useful for the solo player. And I mean, even between the two of us, sometimes we're having to pick and choose what we want to take quite carefully so that we know we've got what we think we might need.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm gonna bring this. If you bring that, then we cover everything or almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just keep in mind, you can only take so much back with you topside.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you, okay, like, my pickaxe is now broken. I'm getting another one from space. First, drop the broken one in your dropship, so you don't forget to take it back up with you.
Yeah.
Nice way to get rid of excess currency. Forget your tools on the surface.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we did that with quite a lot of the early MKV knives and pickaxes and stuff.
Actually, I still have it, but yeah, I know Karel, for example, left stuff on the surface.
Yeah.
Stuff he didn't use no more, and he had better variants of. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the only way you could, because you couldn't destroy stuff. So.
Exactly.
You know, that was the only way to actually get rid of stuff that was taking up space in your inventory that you didn't use anymore, was to, you know, take it down, wear it out, leave it behind.
Yeah.
Anyway. We've digressed yet again.
As we tend to do.
Yeah. We're talking about that obsidian ammo again.
Yep. Added drifter lore to bestiary. Are we talking about yet a new animal, drifter?
Drifter.
Or is this a particular piece of lore for something else, but called drifter lore? Because there is lore for your animals in the bestiary, which is unlocked at a certain percentage, 2 or 3 times per animal.
Could that have anything to do with the flyer?
This is future content.
Drifter flyer?
Maybe.
I
This
don't
is
know,
future content, so I would say this is for a new animal. Obviously, new animals in the new DLC should get their own entry in the bestiary, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this is the first time Drifter is being mentioned. So, either it's an other internal name for the flyer, which was mentioned 2-3 weeks ago as well, or this is a complete new animal. But now Jason made us unsure, like this might be an internal name for a creature already mentioned before.
Yeah.
Jake, why did you do this? What did you do to us?
Yeah. Got speculating on shite now.
Yeah.
We could speculate a lot on shite, trust us.
Jake says this is a new animal. Okay. Cool. Drifter.
New animal. Nice.
Write that probably down. A flying animal.
Yeah, well, that's where
or flying, or jumping out of a tree and drift down, glide down.
Flying foxes.
It's drifters, so not really flying, maybe gliding.
Yeah, like a flying fox.
Flying squirrel.
Which is a flying fox.
Oh, is it a flying fox? That I don't know. I was thinking about a fox with a rocket tied to its back.
Well, you could shove a rocket up a wolf's ass if you really want to, see where it goes, but
Well, it would go there where the sun doesn't shine.
And would end up where the sun is shining.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good.
Fix sickle harvesting, rounding harvested amount down instead of up. Okay, so it's gonna be rounded up now.
No, it's gonna be rounded
would be
down instead of up.
a difference. Would only be a difference of 1. But still, in the long run, could amount to quite a lot. But
yeah. Okay.
More additions and updates to the Lava Hunter audio added Splash in Lava audio in the event.
Okay.
Splash in Lava. So it's wounded, it wants to heal, it runs back to the lake, jumps in, and then you get a nice audio event, Splash in Lava. Careful, don't stand too close.
Yeah, don't stand so close to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk it off.
Yep.
Hard to walk it off when my feet are 3 feet behind me.
Jason says a new DLC will have a lot of content unique to it. Yes, Jason, this DLC is supposed to be an intermediate zone between the terraformed Olympus/Styx and the completely alien, not terraformed next DLC. From what I understood from way back. So yeah, of course it will have nice, unique content. And the next DLC once again. So I like it. It's also going to make it harder because you have to learn to play all over again.
Yeah. Gonna be good.
Definitely.
There we go. We've got
Obsidian,
obsidian
ironwood, cool steel arrows, and obsidian
and
bolts.
bolts. Yes,
Bolts
exactly.
is crossbow.
Yep.
Arrows, crossbow. So obsidian bolts as well as ironwood and cold steel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but they nerfed them already.
Probably.
Yeah, fix the damage as it was doing way too much for its place in the test tree. So we haven't even tested it out and already been nerfed. Okay.
Yeah. Added
Oh, well.
text for added text for nerfing weapon tool resources.
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
Not s-
Next veneration. I don't know.
don't know.
Jay says you'll have to have pretty high level. You have to be pretty high level to get enough points to open stuff in the new DLC and also open older stuff. Depends. I mean, there isn't. Yeah, okay. The new building materials, so you will need additional blueprint points there. True. But like all the benches and stuff, you'll keep using the same benches, Jason. So yes, you'll need some additional blueprints, but not that much. Yes, they are pretty scarce in the beginning, but once you reach level 40, you will have enough for your day-to-day job, and then you can start spending blueprint points on nicer stuff. And obviously, if we do, and like we have done before, all our own specializations. If Echo, for example, says I'm gonna spec into farming, it means I don't have to unlock crop plots, because that is part of farming. So that's for Echo to unlock crop plots. I'm gonna spec into mining, so Echo doesn't have to unlock any pickaxes.
Mm-hmm.
Furnaces.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pleased with my current character. So I think I'm gonna do new character, basically roughly the same as my main character. So spec into mining, storage, smelting, that stuff.
Yeah.
So another advantage of multiplayer, you can so every player can specialize, so you don't have to you don't need all the talent points straight away. You
Mm-hmm.
basically divide the talents you need, but also the blueprints.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
here, create a lighter version of the hail weather event for use in the grasslands. So the normal hail is not going to be in the grasslands, but it also sounds like the hail weather event is going to be a rather serious one.
Yeah, like I'm thinking normal hail size in the grasslands and baseball size, cricket ball size hail everywhere else.
Maybe.
Hmm, that would be pretty devastating. That would knock you the hell out.
Yeah, so if it would also give you physical damage next to your exposure, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you'd have to run about with a hard hat on all the time.
Currently, the only weather event which gives you damage next to the exposure damage basically is lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, the blizzard is cold and the heat wave is hot, but it's not a direct physical damage.
No.
Lightning, though, is an interesting. You get hit by lightning twice if you wanted extra achievement.
You'd
It
find
gives
that
you like
easy
a
as heck.
direct. Yeah, I know. I'm a living, walking lightning rod. I know.
Yeah.
Building a case becomes more interesting. No, not really, Jason. Because
No.
you then have to battle the caveland constantly and spawning cave worms and stuff. Yes, you can make the dehumidifier, but it has a rather limited range.
Yeah, which is no good in a big cave.
Exactly. So build a wooden base with a couple of beams around for lightning rods, and upgrade it to stone ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
And for longer missions, upgrade to concrete, or at least put the concrete roof and the concrete half pieces around
The half
the
pieces
overhang,
down. Yeah.
the concrete overhang. Extra crispy, it's me again. Indeed. For hail, well, I don't know, Jason. It depends. Like when they introduced the new weather system, they said concrete is not going to take any damage. This obviously was before Prometheus, before these new weather types. Question is, will these weather types be that much more devastating that even concrete is gonna take damage? It's gonna be interesting. Rain hurts stone, hail will damage concrete. Yeah, maybe.
It'll definitely put a hole in your glass windows.
Not if you have an overhang. Weather events are only vertical. So if you have I actually have it in one of my outposts, 6, 7 story high vertical glass wall with a concrete overhang. And my vertical glass
Yeah.
wall, no matter how high it is, will never take any storm damage.
Yeah, well, if you remember, you actually changed the shape of my outpost building so that you could put the concrete overhang around the edge.
Yeah.
Because I have an upside down pyramid.
Yeah.
Made of glass.
Ballistic glass work in progress. Yeah, it would be nice, interesting additional building piece. Ballistic glass, indeed. The overhangs
Yeah.
look awful. Well, you can actually integrate them into your building. Yes, usually I'm lazy and I just put a half piece overhang. But if you do like a full floor overhang and a couple of diagonal beams underneath it, it already looks quite different.
Yeah.
The overhang should follow the slope. Not sure which. Actually, yes, that's something you can do as well. Concrete roof piece angled down.
Yeah.
If you have a slanted roof, you can do that. Unfortunately, you can't do half roof pieces, as in half the length. You can do half the angle, but not half the length. But yeah, you can do on if you have an angled roof and basically extend the roof by one roof piece, it would act as an overhang as well and thus protect your entire base.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, it would look way better on a 6x6 than on a 2x2, but hey.
Yeah. But hey ho.
Anyway.
Wire obsidian sickle stat. Requires some rework about what should be harvestable with sickle future content.
Yeah, the one above, obsidian knife, ballistics component, so it can be thrown correctly. Told ya.
Yeah,
Obsidian throwing knives.
yep, you did. There's more about sledgehammers and ironwood sickle.
Now if you go, okay, so let's see, icons for the cold steel, an obsidian rifle and pistol ammo.
Nice.
Cold steel and obsidian ammo, yeah, so indeed we will have obsidian bullets. Huh, okay. But the one below, add text for miasmic / ironwood tools. Huh? Miasmic tool? So
It's going to make you smell bad?
I make a miasmic axe. What the heck is the use of a miasmic axe? Is it that if I cut down a tree, it smells so bad that no animals will come near?
Unless it was like a miasmic throwing axe, in which case you could just follow the smell as to where your prey went.
Then it would be a weapon, not a tool, right?
Yeah, but an axe is a tool, but you can still throw it.
Don't think you can throw an axe anymore. Then they removed the throwable from the axes and the normal knives.
Oh, yeah. Well.
When they introduced the javelins and the throwing knives.
Unless there's something like a throwing star.
We're not ninjas. I mean, okay, I'm a ninja. Ninja! But haven't seen anything about it. But again, it would be a weapon, not a tool. So, So, yeah. You have text for cold steel items, text for obsidian tool set, and text for miasmic ironwood tool. Is ironwood always miasmic? Huh.
Well,
like I said, what's going to be the use?
They're talking above about, like, is it poison bark or something?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But this looks like the miasmic is on the tool.
Yeah, stumped by that one. Okay.
Going to be interesting to see what it's actually going to do.
Yeah, well, don't forget we've got the bone armor coming out, so that should help us from, like, piercing damage and stuff. More about the Lava Hunter Wounded Walk notifiers and adjustment to spatializer for vocals.
Jason says maybe it attracts creatures, those miasmic tools. Well, it might attract dung beetles, but
Or
other
skunks.
animals, skunks maybe, other animals though. Yeah, it'll turn out that miasmic is an internal code name, says me again. Yeah, it's just another word for ironwood, which is another word for cold steel, which is another word for obsidian, which is another word for stone.
Yeah.
I know, right? Jason, yeah, Jake now completely messed this all up, you know. Now you're getting it,
Now
Jake.
you get
Yeah.
Okay, fixing the ice borer recipe to provide an ice borer item when crafting completes and not a deep mining drill.
Yeah.
It's me again says a smelly stone axe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, I would be
Those
slightly less than pleased.
just a bit. Jason says,
Yeah,
psych.
I know, right? Now I have to rethink all my life choices again.
Yeah.
Just because of that one remark from Jake.
Sucks.
I know, right? Oh well.
And finally, fixing the exotic harvester recipe.
Exotic harvester, which has been renamed to organic condenser thingy.
Yeah, the
Organic residue cleanser. Oh no, it's an exotic processor. It's the organic residue cleanser. So we have an exotic harvester. Or I would say this is not the like exotic drill or something, but more for the exotic tree.
yeah, that makes
And then
sense.
you harvest stuff, organic residue, which you then put in the organic residue cleanser to turn it into something else, a usable substance.
Yeah. Jake says different devices. Smiley
Yeah,
face.
exotic harvesters versus exotic processor. An exotic processor renamed to organic residue cleanser. Will we next week get a future content exotic harvester renamed to organic residue harvester? Because this exotic does kinda push your train of thoughts towards exotics stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
Uh,
it's just maybe the exotics are harvestable a different way. Like maybe we can harvest them out of, I don't know, giant trees, giant plant stalks.
now, yeah, but the thing is, will it be exotics what you can mine there, or what you get there? Seen as how they changed the name of the exotic processor to organic residue cleanser. So does not look like you will be mining exotics
Or maybe
with
you
these
mine a
devices.
maybe you mine a pod and you stick it in the cleanser and you get an exotic out. You get the jewel out the other side, which would be more in line with the film.
No, because there's talk about the exotic tree,
Yeah.
exotic harvester, and organic residue cleanser. Looks like a source, and then device to mine a raw resource and then process the resource into something usable.
Okay.
But that something usable doesn't look like it is exotics. Not after they said we update the name to organic residue cleanser.
Okay. Could be. Jason says potato, potato. Sorry, potato, potato.
Oh, I would have thought it was potato, potato, but yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I pay too much attention? No, I just want to know, you know.
You could say it's kind of built in.
Yeah, and hey, if I would not pay attention at all, then we wouldn't be doing this in-depth discussion, and also not do all the talking about this, how it's gonna work. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that.
And
You
you
know
wouldn't, and there wouldn't be any speculation at all.
exactly.
Because our speculations have come up with some pretty good feasible stuff. It would be interesting to see just what happens in the future. And
Oh yeah,
speaking of which, we will have to have backstage chats, Jake, with uh, uh, oh, what
with
am I trying to
regards
say?
to
Yes, thank you, Connie. Keep going, please.
Q&A.
Yeah, sorry, brain stopped working there for a minute. Just had a complete blank. Yes, I'll talk to you about that backstage. That, I believe, brings us to the end of our update. If I
Patch note
waffle on,
discussion. Yep.
yeah, patch note discussion. If I waffle on for another 30 seconds, we will pass the 3-hour mark once again. That's been a really good patch notes, though. There's been a lot of good stuff in there. Yeah, a lot of speculation we can do tonight on lots of different things. A bit more information in there about the Lava Hunter, which is always good. I like more information about future content. It allows the imagination just to fly.
Oh yeah.
And we like that. We like that. So thank you very much to everyone who's watching, anybody who's lurking, and all who participated in the chat, namely Jake, Jason, it's me again, and Michael, who got the first award this week. I'm hoping that streaming can resume back to normality next week, meaning the Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday gameplays. I've had some family IRL stuff come up. I've not been particularly well, and so on. So I appreciate everybody's patience with that. Hoping to return to normal next week. Keep you posted on those plans. I'd like to also thank Corne for keeping on top of the Discord server, which is very handy indeed. So thank you very much for that.
Welcome.
Have I missed anything? Am I missing anything? Have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. In that case, Peeps, thank you very much for being here. You've more than welcome, Jake. Working on it, getting better. Thanks for the support. We love your interactions and hope you join us for many more. So until then, it's good night from me.
And good night from her.
And we will see you hopefully on Tuesday for the Valheim stream. Until then, remember, Peeps, it's a dangerous world out there, so please take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.